Hello, guys. My name is Nicholas Camby. I'm a former wrestler, but now I'm a pro strongman. This year, I won America's Strongest Man for my weight class of 105 kilo, as well as the World Championship as well. But of course, today I'm talking to you guys about the benefits of wrestling and how does that carry over to not only any other athletic sport, but strength sports and also into life. Of course, Coach Kemi, my head wrestling coach from college, asked me to put on this video, so I hope you guys enjoy. So I added some of my kind of clips in terms of kind of highlighting from strongman, but also from my wrestling, so you get an idea in terms of some of the similar movements. But when we're talking about just kind of physically, when it comes to wrestling and how that improves someone's athletic career, I think there's many different facets. It really helps, not only in terms of like and teach an individual how to use their hips properly, is that if that's like returning someone in the mat, if that's driving forward for a takedown. I would say when it comes to kind of hip strength, I think that's something that gets overlooked when it comes to kind of strongman. But also, there's a big, huge endurance piece when it comes to wrestling. And of course that carryover. Of course, when you're wrestling, you're wrestling on the mat for about 6-7 minutes, and the other guy on the other side of the mat is looking to kind of take your lunch. So of course you got to be really well conditioned, and sometimes matches come down to who's the most well conditioned when it comes to the 6-7th minute. When we talk about just in different muscles, of course, grip strength is huge when it comes to wrestling, and rolling wrists, locking up cradles, locking up takedowns. Again, it's huge in terms of forearm and arm strength, as well as big into kind of core stability. Again, you're going to be in a lot of different positions, and that plays into kind of mobility as well. Some of the best wrestlers and the most kind of agile, mobile individuals, that makes them also hostile. But even agility training, of course, being able to kind of move and accelerate at different speeds, depending on what you're doing. If that's coming off of the bottom, if that's locking up a takedown, again, it's going to be working on a lot of those fast twitch muscles that you wouldn't be working on if you weren't in a situation like wrestling or another kind of grappling sport. But besides just physically, also or as some more different aspects in terms of physical, I would say staying lean is something that really kind of helps out throughout the year. So of course, be able to keep putting on good muscle mass, and again, clean muscle mass instead of kind of like dirty bulking. But at a young age, of course, I started wrestling in middle school, but at a young age, I learned a lot about proper nutrition, and how to feel myself through, not only through practice and training, but how to feel myself in competition. So that's a whole nother aspect that I think gets overlooked, is proper nutrition, and especially for athletes. And your outputs are only going to be as good as the inputs and what you put into your body. But when it comes to just kind of the mental aspects, some wrestlers, some of them are the most kind of self-disciplined, some of the most hardworking individual, to become a top wrestler, not only to even start on your varsity team, but to make it through sectional, states, and regionals, and make it to nationals. You really have to be the hardest worker in the room, and you really got to rely on those other individuals that are around you in that training room to kind of work hard and push hard. Even though it's an individual sport, it really takes a great team to make great wrestlers. And even the mind body relationships, seeing moves and drilling takedowns and reversals, and of course seeing that and be able to kind of produce that in a setting. Again, it's really going to help you with that mind body connection. Again, kind of back to the physical items, but some of the best leaders have come from wrestlers. Of course, a lot of great presidents, and then of course I have other individuals that are of course high ranking in the military, and their special ops training was a cakewalk compared to wrestling practices. So this was something to kind of keep in mind. But those are some of the few benefits of wrestling, not only for athletics but also for being a proper young man. So I hope, or young woman. So I hope that again, if your winters are free, you consider wrestling as a winter sport. Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.